Hello Animorphs fans and welcome back to the Animorphs Reviews YouTube channel. Raptor and I are back and we're going to be watching The Capture Part 2. What do we know about this episode, Raptor?
It is a part 2 of the adaptation of the book, obviously The Capture number 6. So, previously on Animorphs,
We learned that Axe likes cards rubbed against him.
Yes, it is an exceptionally ineffective way to deal with security systems, whether they be human or other, or Yerk even, because it's just that bad. We also learned that Yerks can't get through IKEA chairs. That was another very strong, reasonable thing that happened.
Oh, I've got to ask quickly, jump in there, because Medibollocks put a comment on the last video, said, "You missed a cliche when Marco used a chair to block a door."
I read that comment. I don't know if that's a cliche. I feel like one thing about these videos is that we have not like thoroughly deconstructed what a cliche actually is. And then we always get into these situations where we're like, is this a cliche? And so I wonder if there's a little bit of fuzziness as to what exactly the cliche, what defines a cliche.
Let's look up cliche definition, okay?
Oh, Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines cliche as great way to start. Great way to start.
A phrase or opinion that is overused and betrays a lack of original thought. A stereotype or electrotype. What the hell's an electrotype?
That's what you get from drinking Gatorade, right?
Is that an American joke?
No, electrolytes are in Gatorade. Electrotype. Maybe it's a very poor American joke.
Hang your head in shame.
Apparently, yeah. It's apparently way too deep to get into chemical jokes right now. Okay.
Oh, cliche. A very predictable or unoriginal thing or person.
Okay, so we're saying that like Marco putting a chair in front of a door is unoriginal. So, like, what was he supposed to put in front of the door? Like,
yeah, I'm not going to.
Is he supposed to move a bookshelf? Is he supposed to move the hot tub in front of the door? Like, what small object that is both sturdy enough and easy enough for a 16-year-old in this case? I'm assuming 16-year-old.
He just needs to wedge. It needs to wedge his foot under the door.
Yeah, that will definitely stop a whole army of spec ops. Well, I guess Yerk spec ops is pretty generous.
Can you imagine the pain as they're trying to push the door and you've got your foot wedged under it?
See now, if Marco had morphed a gorilla and he was a gorilla standing in front of the door, holding the door closed, I would say, well, that's a pretty unique way of doing it. But there's no way that the show is going to morph Marco into a gorilla and have him hold the door closed. No, that's not going to happen.
They didn't have enough whips to control a gorilla.
Exactly, right?
And before anyone says anything, that's a joke about Bob Hackenberger.
Yes.
That's not me saying, oh, let's whip animals. That's a joke about the Hackenberger guy. Christ.
You are on record of being very kind and friendly to animals, okay?
I love animals.
This is established fact.
Although somebody commented on one of my latest videos about the Chi, saying, "You're so toxic that I'm not surprised that you hate pacifists and dogs." I'm like, what?
Whatever, dude. Comments on the internet. Welcome to the internet.
Yeah,
people making weird personal claims. Got it. Awesome.
Yeah. Since you were wrong, Medi, and we'd not count that as a cliche, your counter forfeit is to wedge your foot under a door and have somebody press it against you. That's your forfeit.
At least 2 accountants, because we know that the Yerks really love to invest accountants. Okay? That's their top tier, like the list of people that the Yerks want to infest, right? We got like the bottom tier is like soldiers, military, right? Middle tier is probably like teachers and like school staff, right?
Soccer mums.
Exactly. And then above that, like the B tier is probably,
frumpy dumpy lawyers.
Well, I was going to say really important political figures, right? And then the S tier, the secret S tier is accountants. That's really the best place to be in terms of infestation.
That's what I would do if I were in charge of the invasion.
Exactly.
Right then. So are we ready for what is renowned to be the best episode of the TV show?
We will see. Okay, I'm excited. I'm hopeful. Okay, it's gonna happen.
I'm looking for a 9 or 10.
All right, let's see it. Let's see what the capture does.
Let's do it. Oh,
something is wrong.
Oh, there you go. Oh, they don't get the voiceover though. They just have the previously.
But if the governor's now a presidential candidate,
listen to this funky donkey music.
Yeah, but there were other things. You know,
this music is way too high energy for a recap.
I sense your involvement.
I sense your Again, that Axe was full of really great tactical and astute observations in the previous episode.
So did we get them?
By the way, none of the previously stuff counts.
Yeah, right? Yeah, true.
Oh shit, do you know what we didn't do?
We didn't talk about what the forfeits are?
We didn't talk about what right, okay, so
right.
To those watching, I think of a character and describe it, and if Raptor gets it right, then I have to have a forfeit. Mm-hmm. And that forfeit involves this thing.
This thing of all things. I can't see it because
it's called an epilator. Isn't that right?
It's what?
Pretty much a device that has about 30 to 40 tweezers spinning in a circle at all times.
Did you hear that?
Are you going to give yourself an electric shock?
No, it's this epilator thing. Like Pebble says, it's like a cluster of 30 tweezers operating in tandem. And you choose which bit of hair on my body I take off. Not head hair or eyebrows though. That's off limits.
Okay. Wait. So
and I've got a pair of tweezers here as well.
How full is your beard at this point?
Not looking too bad.
Okay.
I've also got a set of tweezers if you want me to pick out like nose hairs and stuff.
That'd be good.
Okay. I can't. Why can't I use it on my beard?
Because the hair is too thick. You will
What?
Die.
The hair's too thick.
Okay.
I will die.
You will,
apparently.
Like, it's not a good idea. It'll probably.
Okay. This may be an exceptionally personal question, but how much body hair do you actually have?
He asked how much body hair I have. You're the expert, my dear.
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Okay, like, are we talking like hairy shoulder? Are we talking hairy shoulders? Are we talking?
No, not hairy shoulders.
Okay, not hair. What about back? What's the back hair ratio?
I've got a tuft of hair down the lower end of my back. I haven't got any back back hair.
You have back hair. Okay. You are not hairy like animal.
Are you not hairy like animal?
Yeah, you're not hairy.
I don't know what the hell that accent was. That was a Russian Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like bordering on weird here.
Well, we've always been weird. Well,
True.
Yes. Anyway, shall we crack on and wait for our first forfeit?
Yes. So wait. Okay. So it doesn't matter what it is. It's all the same. Just like before, like the last previous ones. It's just the.
Yeah.
The question is answered. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, I think I'll bring alcohol back for the next one. So rotate.
Oh, no shots. So sad. Too bad.
No
so
shot. Sad. I've got to drive somewhere later, so.
True. We are doing this earlier than we normally do, so it's good.
Next time.
Well, welcome to my world of not being able to drink at 2 in the afternoon.
Well, it's your fault for being American.
Yeah, it's true. The worst thing to be is to be American. Okay.
Exactly. Let's continue.
Go. Come on.
And then the smirk.
Oh my god.
There must have been 1,000 Yerks in that tub. We got them all.
There's still 1,000 more where those came from.
1,000.
Nice math.
Yeah. How do
Glad
they
to know that the educational system is working out for thousands of Yerks?
How do they?
Wait a second. How do they have thousands of Yerks in those flasks?
I don't know how they came to that conclusion in the first place.
Do they count? Was there enough time for them to count all the Yerks in the pool?
They're just in freaking fantasy land. Oh, I reckon there were 1 million in that Yerk pool and we killed them all. Yay us, we won the war.
They were transporting like what? Like 1 or 2 Yerks? I don't know. I guess that's the $1 million question. How many Yerks can you fit in a flask? I don't know. I mean, they would seem like not very big flasks. So especially with Edelman, there was like 1, right, in the flask. I don't know.
How many Yerks can you fit in your head at once?
Right. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? How many Yerks can you fit inside a Scooby-Doo thermos?
Let's move on before this question becomes deeply offensive.
Existential, right?
Hey, lighten up, Rachel.
Yeah, even Luke Skywalker got a medal before the Empire struck back.
That's
Boo! Boo!
Star Wars reference.
It's a hot Star Wars reference.
But that's not a joke, so it doesn't count.
No, it's just cool.
It's just cool, yeah.
It's just Star Wars, yeah.
Star Wars.
Last one was depressing.
That's science fiction.
true, but then they didn't have to worry about Jabba the Hutt squirming around in their ear.
Is that a joke?
I think that's supposed to be a joke.
Right,
Joking about slugs here.
So you've got to guess which character I'm thinking of.
Okay.
This character has a gashed shoe.
This one was in the other one. It's the guy that's the aide to the president. That in book 20, and this is terrible that I don't remember this guy's name. Okay, because like I clearly do not remember this guy's name. His name just does not exist in my head. But I know that he's the guy. He's the aide to the president from book 20 that they follow in the helicopter.
Not good enough for me, I'm afraid. It was Tony.
Okay. Tony, that's right. And see, we even talked about that his name, because I said Antonio, and you're like, no, just Tony.
Hey, Tony.
Antonio. Forget about it.
What happened?
We're gonna be a yerk, you know what I'm saying? There, we're gonna go get pizza down on Broadway.
You're gonna get cancelled now.
Yeah. Yes, all of those New Yorkers who definitely are very poorly representing the New Yorkers. Okay.
Right, we got Axe talking to a bird.
Than they look.
Oh yeah, they're even better alive. No way, Axe.
What?
Man,
what? No way, what?
Wait, whoa! Wait a second. Did we ever? Is this the first time that we've seen Tobias since he was like shot in the Yerk pool?
No, we've seen him since then. What episodes have you had since then? Hold on, let's have a look.
He was in the, because the Edelman episode was the last time we saw him. He was running interference outside of the thing, outside of the hospital, and then at the end of that episode when they're down in the pool. Doesn't he get shot?
Wait,
well, they're trying to escape?
He wasn't in the oatmeal episode, was he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. He was keeping watch, I thought.
I can't even remember which episode that was. The Message? No, it's not. He's alive in The Message, which is episode 6. We're on episode 10. No, he died in the Yurt pool like after episode 5 or something.
Let's see here. List of episodes. Okay, here we go. So we're on The Message was that one. So
The Escape. Which one was the
I think it's The Escape. Yeah, because that's the one that's based off the Underground.
So is that the one where he died?
I'm like 98% sure that's the one where he died.
Yeah, I think it is actually. So the Alien, he wasn't in that one because that was the Troublesome Trio.
Right. That was the boys being boys episode.
And then the Capture Part 1. Yeah, so this is the first time this is Tobias's resurrection episode.
Yes. Yeah, like there's been no mention of Tobias at all since he was shot in the Yerk pool. We never knew if he was okay. We never knew anything. But now he's here, he's back, and he's talking about how delicious.
This is going to be an Annie theory at some point. Who is this imposter?
It'll go hand in hand with your Cassie one, right?
Yes. Yes. The crossover of the TV show in the books. Exactly.
So that was in Sario Rips, wasn't it? Where they talked about the weird timeline, how like the weird theory that the books and the show can exist in the same like multiverse or whatever.
That's a theory. That's a deep theory.
Deep lore.
That's going to require a lot of meditation on my part.
Right.
Did you succeed in saving the governor?
No, because your horrible nipple card didn't work.
There's nobody going to mention that. Uh-oh. He just knows.
Pretty crazy.
He just knows.
It's pretty crazy. This is how teenagers talk.
Uh-oh.
Are you okay?
Oh, gross. Who killed a mouse?
That would be me.
Why don't you clean up after yourself?
Uh-oh.
It's
the
the
telltale
ear.
sign.
Oh shit. So what happens if he's just wandering around town and he sees someone scratching their ear? Does he just go freaking mental?
Yeah. That is the only logical explanation, is that he has to get really, really upset and just go for it.
You need to calm down, Axe.
Oh,
here we go.
Not as strong of an introductory part of the episode as the previous one, I will say.
Nothing went wrong.
But like the banter was so much better in the previous episode. There's a lot better pacing.
We're not even a minute in, really. We've had a preview which took up a minute, so we've had about a minute of episode. You're so harsh. You're so harsh, Raptor.
I'm just saying, compared to
Chill,
part
man.
1...
Calm down, right?
Calm down, yeah. So angry.
Give it a
angry.
break, man.
I definitely am not generous with the show at all. I'm only ever completely harsh with the show.
You're the sort of guy that gets so angry at media that you rip books in half. That's the
true.
sort of guy you are.
Yeah. Very, very explosive, very high energy, okay?
I know, and it's ridiculous how angry you get. Nobody should get that angry ever.
I'm triggered.
No. People still haven't forgiven me for ripping up The Weakness, by the way.
It's a book. Who cares?
People out there will literally say things like, he's not a fan because he ripped the book apart. And I'm like,
Never.
It's because I'm such a fan that I ripped the book in half. It was so offensive to the lore of the series.
Well, and
I got angry.
You had an extra one, right?
Oh, no, I taped it back up. I bought an extra one, and I taped up the ripped up version. Still on my shelf.
Then you are a true fan. Because if you were really an anti-fan, you would not have bought an extra one, and you would have left the one that's ripped up, and then you would just say, "No, it's trash. It's not. I'm not coming back from this. I'm standing behind the statement that this book is trash." So you're a true fan. You're a true fan. Don't listen to comments on the internet. Okay, do yourself a favor.
Thank you.
Giving you a free pass. Is that gonna work?
Oh,
does grabbing at an ear? Does that work?
I don't know, but what's Tobias attached to? You notice that as he's flapping around, he's being pulled back by something.
Well, like, what's he? Clearly the bird is reacting to the intensity of the actors here.
Hackenberger just came in with a whip.
He's got
whip the hawk. Whip the hawk.
Yeah, we're gonna whip the hawk. That's how they did it in the olden days at the big top.
And that's what they did with the slugs as well when they had to be yerks. He came in with a whip and would be a slug, be a slug, be a slug.
Move faster!
It's like a zombie thing.
Yeah, right. Okay. So glad that you were helping there, Tobias. Doing a real good job. Oh man, inner monologue.
And that weird direct. Okay, so which character am I thinking of? Let's. This character is Tobias met them in book 23, and he talks about the scars on his eyes.
Talks about the scars on his eyes. I don't know.
I'm trying to remember his name. It starts with an F. It's a Hawkbajir.
Oh man, so you're definitely remembering. Okay, good job. I'm glad that I'm gonna be able to get these when you can't even get them. Perfect.
Look. Look. Right.
Right.
No, we're moving on. We're moving on.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. We're just going.
I think it's foul. Foul.
Yeah.
Right. No, I'm looking it up.
You don't even know. All right. Perfect.
But I know more than you. I know that it starts with an F.
Do you? Oh, it starts with an F. Real classy. You don't even get down.
Yeah, it's Foul Taggart.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I said foul, so I knew.
Yeah.
I knew. So.
Yes, you did.
Haha. Joke's on you.
Oh, you got me, bro. You got me.
Tell you what, you get a free one there for me for getting.
No, I don't do that. I'm just giving you a hard time. It's good to give you a hard time sometimes.
Yes, it is. Yes. Understood.
Nothing is ever as it seems.
Nothing.
He's gonna cry. So sad.
What's wrong with you, Axe?
Can't you see?
No. See
Don't you know
what?
what he is?
He touched his ear.
Yeah.
They can't see what I see because they haven't lived with this war as long as I have.
On the
They
inside.
They cannot trust anyone.
He's a guy who likes pineapple on
some of us
pizza.
had a rough day.
Shh. Don't even make jokes about that. Don't make jokes about pineapple on pizza.
I love pineapple on pizza. It's
You-
the hot take for today.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
I'm Italian too, so you know what?
You're not Italian.
I am.
Oh,
I'm a quarter Italian.
I can do an Italian accent.
Gonna go down to Papagino.
I'm doing it right now.
Fuck
Can't you
really
tell?
fast. Perfect.
I'm just doing the hand thing.
Oh yeah, bibbidi bobbidi bibbidi bobbidi. Yeah.
What? We want to go to Italia. Yes, we want to go to Italia, don't we, my dear?
Should. Italy's great.
Yeah, I look forward to going there. It looks freaking awesome. Oh, he just snorted.
Humans are so easily fooled.
Oh shit!
It's not like you can't see them.
What are you saying?
Is that a stock noise of the hawk in the background, by the way?
Who can say? At this point, the last time Tobias was alive, he was making all of the
You did
actual
fall into
sounds.
that yerk tub.
Yeah, we can't be
And you
sure,
rescued
can we?
me.
Astute
But how can we
observation,
be
Rachel.
sure?
True. 3 days. Let's do it.
Okay, if I were a controller, why would I even be here in the first place?
If I was a controller, could I do this?
If I was a controller, why would I be infiltrating the main enemy? God, I mean, that's so
Right.
silly.
Right. Why would
All
I
I know I
ever
can do.
engage in subterfuge when that's literally the whole invasion plan? That
What do you
seems
think-
real dumb, guys.
How dare you suggest I do these underhanded tactics? That is disgraceful.
We all know that as soon as I was,
Hold.
we all know that as soon as I became a controller, I would definitely go Andalites and try and eat you. So
Yeah. Oh, that Axe does that in a minute. Let's watch. That's
Not
it's
if you wanted
hilarious
to
how
go to Visor 3
they're
with
just.
the 5 of us.
It's like Tourette's.
see,
And
got
an
it.
Andalite.
and an Andalite.
Yerks get promoted for that kind of stuff, no, Jake?
Yeah, there you go. Good job, guys.
How do they know the inner workings of the Yerk military? Oh, I don't
Okay.
think I'm being nitpicky. We haven't even got past the
You're scaring me,
opening
okay?
credits, really. The capture part 2.
Shake Axe's hand.
What?
I'd rather
Uh-oh,
kiss
here
a
we go.
hawk Bashir.
That's
Oh!
racist. That is racist.
Shoot. You would rather kiss a Hork-Bajir. With what mouth, Axe? With what mouth would you kiss a Hork-Bajir?
But I'm so confused. Now he'd rather the Hawk-Bajir get a small card and rub it against his torso.
See, that's the real thing. That's what an Andalite kiss is rubbing magnets on your body.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
that's-
isn't the and kiss thing they rub each other?
Sure. With anti-static sheets, that's the
Anti-static sheet.
yeah. It's the only way to make sure that they stay demagnetized enough for when they need to activate all human security systems. Okay.
That's why he doesn't want to kiss a Hawk-Bajir, because they're not anti-static.
True. In fact,
They're,
Hork-Bajir are known for static shocks. Okay.
yeah, you just touch one of them and you...
Boom! Automatically. That's why.
Electric
That's why
shock.
they're like a class. That's like what they. That's why they're a class like 3 species. Okay. They're too staticky.
But we can safely say, sod you, Axe. You
Right.
wretch.
Clearly being hateful toward Hork-Bajir. Okay.
No,
We all know that Aldrea has a very fine relationship with a Hork-Bajir. Okay.
Yeah, she was one of them sorts.
If there's a yerk in his
Star-crossed
brain, he'd
lovers,
never shake
okay.
an Andalite's hand.
How do they know that as well?
But morph it first.
This is nuts. I don't have to stay.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Yeah. Right. Like Palpatine.
We watched that movie the other day.
Yo.
What a laugh. Stock noises.
Extra finger. Good job.
Look
But
at
not
that.
two extra
Look at-
finger. But not 2 extra fingers.
No, just the... Yeah, it's just... Look how ridiculous he looks. Right, stock noise. So,
For the morphing.
which character am I thinking of? Killed by David. We assume.
I was gonna say because there's 2 characters that could be right. That's either their cousin or that's Tobias, because he potentially kills. He thinks is implicated briefly that he has killed Tobias, but I'm going to assume that it's not Tobias. I'm going to say that it's their cousin, Jake's cousin.
What's his name?
Oh man, I'm trying to remember. What is his name? It's not Andrew. Oh my gosh. This is why I can't do these so early in the morning. It's because I can't remember.
I'm feeling so hairy at the moment. I just don't know what to do.
So hairy. You're feeling so hairy. Oh man. Starts with an does it start with an S? Oh man. Oh gosh. What is that guy's name?
Do you give up?
No, I gotta remember what it is. It's... Say it? No. Oh, man. It's so weird. See? Sarah? Oh, man.
I'll give you a clue. It's not
Don't give me
Neville.
clues. Don't give me a clue.
It's not
Don't give me
Neville.
clues. Don't give me clues. Oh, man. Starts with an S. Sadler.
Oh shit! You were looking that up, weren't you?
No!
You took about 5 minutes. All right, yeah, I'll give you that.
I defy that. Okay.
Right,
Not looking it up.
which hair am I saying goodbye to? I'll give you a range of options. I've got
sideburn.
hair on my feet. I've got hair on my legs, my arms, my back.
Do you have any on your shoulder?
On my shoulder? No, not really.
Yeah. No,
I've got
okay, do a
bald
do a
shoulders.
forearm.
A forearm. Okay.
Do a forearm grab.
Right. Pebbles looking at me. She's got a wrist to her mouth as if she's waiting.
It's not Neville.
Right. Okay.
Wrong direction?
Wrong
What
direction.
is it's not?
So I go like that.
What does it's not Neville mean? How is it? What kind of clue is it's not Neville?
It's a clue. It narrows down the field. Right. So.
Okay, not now. Okay, the near infinite list of human possible names.
Hey,
It's
it
definitely
helped.
not Neville. Okay.
It helped. Right.
No, it didn't.
I might scream. Pamela's keeping her distance. Right. Let's go.
I did know that it started with an S. I just had to think. I was almost doing the Dumb and Dumber bit, right? In my head, that's what I was doing, was the Dumb and Dumber bit. What is it? Simmy, Schwammy, Schwarmy, Samson's? Swanson? Samsonite. I was way off.
You did like nothing.
All right, I'll do more then. See, Pamela's looking at me like I should be in absolute agony. I'm just like...
Because you're a man.
I thought women always say, oh, well, we give birth, we've got the pain threshold.
We do.
Sounds like bollocks to me. Right, let's do more. It's getting rid of it. That's... nah, women just have no pain threshold.
Breaking the hair off.
Careful, mate. Careful.
I know.
Careful.
But maybe there are more sensitive areas that we... Right.
Treading on thin ice.
You can... I've taken off... Oh, it's a bit red, but...
Are you going to be Are you going to be able to go be a swimmer after this? Because you're going to be so finely groomed.
I'll be like a freaking bullet through that water, mate. There'll be
True.
flames coming out of the... There'll be flames in the water. I'll be so fast.
Flames in the water. We're going to light that water on fire.
It's going to be like the parting of the Red Sea, mate.
There you go.
You just
Well,
wait
Charlton
and
Heston.
see.
You'll be Charlton Heston.
Right. Let's see if Yerks can shake a hand. No problem at all.
The glove hand.
Are you happy? Now do you guys believe me?
That is the weirdest handshake.
I'm sorry, Jake. But you can't blame us for being too careful.
Yeah,
Oh man.
Had you gotten caught, that would have been the end. They'd know everything about us.
Don't worry about it, okay?
They know.
But guys,
Don't worry about
Jake
it.
I know would want to know for sure. It takes 3 days for a Yerk to die without a Yerk pool.
All right.
The Jake I know would expect us to lock him up for those 3 days. He
True.
wouldn't try to reassure us.
All right.
In the books, they took him to an old abandoned house in the middle of the woods.
Guys,
Where do
come
they
on.
take him in the TV show?
What's it gonna take to convince you that you can trust me?
Just here in the barn. We're just gonna stay here in the barn.
Where's
Okay.
Walter?
The joke's over. All right, I'm
Or
starting to
what
get mad.
was her name? Was it Stephanie? The mom's name in the show that we heard in the first episode that we'll never see again.
I don't know. Bernard, I think her name was.
Marguerite.
Denzel.
Denzel.
Well, Jake would understand why we have to do this.
I am the real Jake.
He's behind bars. He's behind the
Angela, my
bars.
cousin. You've known me forever.
Oh no, he's not.
Cassie,
It was a director's trick. That's
Gross!
what it was.
What is happening? Cassie, look at me.
Look at his
you're being Omega level creeper right now, Jake, okay?
Omega level creep.
Hey, Cassie, you want to see a dead
That's just
body?
Yerks for you. That's the Yerks. They all own white vans.
They'll say free candy scarred on the side.
Come get this candy, okay?
Well, I got some candy here. That's mine, Cassie. It's gonna be real good.
Is that what paedophiles sound like in America?
I don't know. I don't engage with those kinds of people. Okay, how would I know?
Good.
True.
Come on, you know me.
Yeah, you know.
You know me.
I'm right about this.
You said it yourself.
True.
The real Jake wouldn't be fighting us.
Yeah.
Anyway, if he's telling the truth, we'll know in 3 days. And then we can all apologize.
Do you think Axe can pass?
Too late to apologize.
Oh, here we go.
My brother will take one look at him and hand him over to Visser 3.
Man, you just like showed your whole cards, man. Showed his whole cards in that one exchange. Like, pretty much confirmed that he's a Yerk, right? You're like, oh, he's gonna turn him over to Visser 3. Takes one look at Axe.
No, I wouldn't say. Even Jake knows that Axe is a complete liability.
But not the way. But he would never say it like that. Like that's the big difference. Is that this is very clearly like that was very clearly dripping with subtext.
But remember, this show is for kids, and kids have no attention span. So if they don't make it clear that he's a Yerk every 2 minutes, then they're just. It's like object permanence. They lack it.
And because he can't touch his ear, how else are we gonna know?
Exactly. Yeah, very good point. His hands are strapped down.
His hands are strapped. You know, he could still scratch his leg. We do know that
No,
that is
that's
a controller.
That's the Chapman. That's just Chapman.
That's just Chapman's ear.
That's just Chapman now.
It's got the foot fetish.
Is that what people with foot fetishes do? Use their feet to scratch their own legs?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
I thought they just like to suck on each other's toes.
I don't know. Who could say? Who knows what Yerks don't have toes? Who knows what they're? Who knows?
I'll tell you something about my feet. There's an awful lot of hair on top of them.
Okay. then let's hope and pray that there's something.
Chips are now on my top 10 food list.
Yeah,
Top
that's
10
just what we
food
need,
list.
and analyze
Okay.
clogged arteries.
I need to do a top 10 food
There'll be
video.
more of these at Jake's house.
True. Yeah. What is?
Axe, you've got to get your mind off of food, man. Human guys, we think about other things too.
Yeah, bro.
Such as
Like broing out.
Okay? The human guys also think about sports and girls.
Sports and girls.
food,
There you go,
sports,
yep.
and girls.
You got it.
And
So
work.
he's right. He's not wrong.
World peace only on Sundays. I think that's a joke. I think that's
World
a
peace
religion.
only on
That's supposed to be a
Sundays.
joke.
Yes.
Yeah, world peace, but only on Sundays.
Right then. So forfeit. What character? Which character am I thinking of?
Okay.
Gets his leg amputated by a Hawk-Bajir.
Oh,
Now, he doesn't have an official name.
the guy's
but
grandfather, the Aboriginal guy's
whose-
grandfather
Who's
in 44.
grandfather?
These just keep getting like more and more specific. Like it's like
You
it's,
didn't let
it's
me
not
finish.
enough.
I was
have to
going to
know
make.
Cody.
I was listing the specifics, and you interrupted me. What do you expect? God.
True. How dare I? Okay. All right. Fine. List the specifics.
You don't require. He doesn't have a given name, but I'll allow you to address him by his title and who his relative is.
Okay. It's the grandfather of the Aboriginal kid from Book 44.
Okay.
He's the leader. He's the elder of their little group.
He's often addressed as grandfather. So who is the?
I don't know. I don't know. That kid's name rapidly escapes my brain.
Your Animorphs knowledge is appalling. And his name's not Paul, by the way.
It should be. That'd be an easy name to remember.
The Aboriginal Paul.
It was Yami.
You looked that up, didn't you?
I did look that one up, but I'd already failed the question. So I was like, okay, I've already failed the question, so I'll look it up now. Yami's grandfather.
I'll have to do it.
Because I have to look it up because you didn't even know the Hork-Bajir's name. Okay, so I had to at least do the legwork to figure out what that was, because you were not going to be able to tell me who his name was.
Speaking of legwork, Medi, your forfeit is to pull your own leg from its socket.
Oh goodness.
Left leg as well, not right leg.
Oh man.
Forfeits are getting strong these days.
If eyes are supposed to be like the window to the soul, how come all I can see is Jake? Because Jake's still.
Because that's not how life works, Cassie. We're not doing this hippy dippy shit anymore. It's war. This isn't poetry recital.
Hork-Bajit. I still stand by my Hork-Bajit Nick. I thought that was funny.
Hork-Bajit. What?
Hork-Bajit Nick.
Where did
somebody on the Discord was talking about a Hork-Bajir reading poetry, and I said he has a Hork-Bajit Nick.
I remember that discussion. I kept out of it. I kept out of it.
Quality joke, okay?
Look how fierce Jake looks.
Do you think he can hear me?
That harsh lighting on his face, you can tell.
Hear you.
He's evil.
Watch over him. I'll be right back.
Where are you going, Rachel?
Oh.
The window to the soul. Oh no!
Floating in the clouds!
Are these stock
They're not
lenses?
buying it. No matter what you tell them. No matter what you make my body do. You're gonna lose.
We'll see about that.
Does that count? Wait a second, pause. Does this count as inner monologue? Because he's technically, it's his brain that's talking?
Oh, alright, yeah. Yeah, technically it's an inner monologue, okay.
It's technically an inner monologue. Or is it dialogue because he's talking to the Yeerk?
It's inner, because it's in his head.
It's in his head.
Technically. So, right, which character am I thinking of? The second female andalite we meet in the series.
The second? Was it Estrid?
First, yeah. I was just going to say I only need the first name, but you
Estrid.
Okay, so what hair is going bye-bye?
We'll give you something. Do a calf.
A calf. Okay. Okay. Have you got
you get a little drumstick.
Have you got a baby cow over there, my dear? I'm going to shave it.
Aww.
Right, so it's like that, my dear, is it?
Yeah.
Like that? Okay, let's do it.
It's supposed to be more straight up and down, but you know.
I'll do it on the side. Right. Can you hear that, Raptor?
I can. Yes, I hear the trimmers trimming. Buzzin's buzzing.
God, Jesus Christ!
That one apparently.
Ow! Okay, it hurts on the legs.
Okay,
more than
on
the
arms.
legs.
Wait till you try the armpit.
Armpit.
I don't know. At this rate, who knows if we'll get to any armpits? All these weird.
Ow! Jesus. That hurts. Okay, women have a bigger threshold for ouchie than I gave them credit for.
See, there you go. It's very progressive of you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, we're progressing in how you're feeling about this.
Yes, women aren't completely inferior. There, I've said it.
Wow.
Sorry, my dear.
Wow.
I only do it to annoy her. It spices things up.
I figured.
And I like a bit of spice.
Little hot sauce.
Yes. Oh, we used that the other. Oh, shh.
Habanero
Let's just carry on.
Your tacos. All right, here we go.
And what a mind you have, Jake. Filled with rich, hidden places. But I'll soon find the place I'm looking for, and when I do, your friends won't be able to tie me down.
This is what it's like when I go on Twitter.
Oh, so he's looking for... He's
Look
looking
at
for the
her,
morphing ability.
A mere human. All this time, we thought you were Andalites. Elfangor gave you the morphing power? You shouldn't have.
Is the whole voice thing a cliche?
See, and that's... I was just wondering, like, is the reverberation, the voice echo, is that technically a cliche?
I wouldn't say that's the cliche. I think the whole... Because what they do for... When they do baddies in films and that, they multiply the audio tracks and change the... Like, move it up 5 or 6 semitones. So you got that discordant multi-voice thing going on.
Maybe. Sure, why not? We'll call it a cliche.
I'll give you a really hard question because it's only slightly a cliche. Okay.
Thanks.
Which character am I thinking of? Oh, who do we do this time? Was saved from a drug den by the Animorphs.
Saved from a drug den? I don't know.
Give up?
Yeah, I don't know.
Assuming my pronunciation is correct. Lords? That shit.
Oh, Lords.
Lordy Lou.
Lords. Wasn't that... Yeah, I guess that's true, yeah. Weird.
At least I think it was a dog den. It was something bad. Where lots of naughty people were.
You don't even know. Again, you don't even know.
It was clearly some sort of drug den. A bunch of shady people.
Clearly.
Stop being pedantic.
I can't even... Oh, man.
God, so this is such a hairy situation we find ourselves in.
True. It's exceptionally hairy.
Jake, no matter what happens, we're not leaving you. Thanks, Cassie.
Aw, thanks,
Special
Cassie.
effects. That's green screen, isn't it?
Go back. I mean, him technically floating in outer space is green screen. And then floating in the void of his mind is green screen.
Yeah, so we'll count that. But also,
we'll count that.
Also, that television screen doesn't look like it's that's.
Yeah, they superimposed that, but like, yeah, it's absolutely superimposed.
That's not technically green, is that?
Well, it's superimposed, right? Like they put it on top of the image.
Yeah,
they cropped out. Because otherwise, with the if it was just a TV, you would see the refresh rate. The lines on the TV wouldn't be picked up by the camera.
So it's not technically green screen.
No, it's not.
You don't need to green screen to do that, so that doesn't count. But the chair thing does, okay?
Yes, him floating. He's not actually floating in the space in his mind, okay?
Okay, so let's think of a character. Ooh. Owns... He has birds flying around in his library.
Oh, that's the guy... Oh, man. Is that Joe Bob? The guy who's the host of Visitor 3's twin.
Is that your final answer?
Is it Joe Bob? Joe Bob
Fenestra. No,
yeah.
It's William Roger Tennant.
William Roger Tennant. Oh, the other guy with 3 names.
They've all got 3 names.
They got 3 names. I was like on the track. I'm like, he's a guy with 3 names. Isn't that what?
You know that Catherine just, when she was thinking, oh, there's this shady character in this thing. Let's go through the names of serial killers. Oh, they've all got 3 names. They're all with 3 names. Give them that serial killer vibe.
Wait a second. Are you sure?
Am I sure what? What are you
William Roger? No, you're wrong. William Roger Tennant is the TV host.
Yeah, but they went in to his was it it was a house overlooking the bay or something, and they went in because he's got a library where he sits and he's got like little bird tree thing on his desk, and these little, I think it's budgerigars or canaries.
Whoa,
cockatiels, that's it. And they come and sit on there and fly around. And he throws a book at one of them at one point.
Okay.
So don't you dare think you could correct me.
How is that different from when they infiltrate? Because don't they infiltrate Joe Bob's place that way too?
No, there are no birds in a library in Joe Bob Finestra's mansion.
Oh man, wild.
You thought you could trip me up on Animorphs knowledge? Shameful. I ought to think of a forfeit for you.
Yeah, well, you know.
Pull your own
Can't do it.
arm off.
Yep, nailed it. Gonna totally do that.
Okay, let's just carry on.
Yeah, I'll get right on it.
If your name if your name is Archibald and you're watching this, that's your forfeit now. Pull your own arm off.
So we're replacing since we did the Marco's dad scene, we're replacing the Cassie's family scene with the Jake's family scene.
Yep.
Yeah.
But even though we already did the Walter scene with the chili in another episode.
Right, that's what I'm saying, is that we replaced the actual Cassie's parents with Marco's dad doing chili there.
Yep.
It was such a good scene that they figured out we got to put it in the show twice, okay?
Yep,
pretty much. It's such a good scene.
Look what I found on the sports channel.
Just what he's doing with his mouth.
Lifting weights.
Girls lifting.
Like to watch?
Not particularly.
How horrible. Tom is clearly not a human male, okay? If he's not willing to watch women's weightlifting on the sports channel.
See, men are complicated creatures. Women and sports, but don't combine the two.
Yes, never the two shall meet.
No, that's
the
wrong.
two shall meet. It's like mixing food on your plate.
Men, yeah, women, sports, greatest things in the world, but we don't tend to watch the two combined.
Man, how terrible.
It's just... Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I like, you know, I've gone to a fair number of women's sporting events.
So, yeah, so have I.
Softball, basketball.
You'd think that if men's two favourite things were combined, that would be the most popular thing in the world, but...
Right, clearly...
It's not.
Well, I'm just saying that clearly, according to Marco's logic and his idea of what it means to be male, clearly Tom is not a human male, so obviously he's a controller. Just saying.
Good spot. Good spot.
Just saying. Just saying. Why his parents did not pick up on that. Tom, you did not want to watch women's weightlifting.
What? You notice what Jake's doing with his mouth, and sort of what Paolo Costanzo does as well. He just sort of lets his mouth droop a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is that just so people know?
I thought I'd kill two birds with one bone.
It's like the ear scratching
That's stone,
thing.
and it doesn't work that way. Listen, during dinner, I don't want you to say anything, but pass the butter. Okay?
Uh-oh.
Joke incoming.
So, this is...
The jazz music. Smooth jazz.
Man, he is a healthy appetite growing boy. So this is Aaron Ashmore, correct?
This is on my top 10 food list.
Isn't that what this is? Is that like they hired Aaron? Is this Aaron Ashmore acting instead of Sean?
I think Aaron Ashmore comes at the end where they're both together because there's one point where they're both on screen at the same time. I think that's where he comes in.
So this is just Sean doing.
Yeah, it's not Aaron because he's got the same shirt on that Jake had earlier.
Wait,
how do they do that?
Do we do a costume change? Because they can morph clothes in the show, okay? I don't know if you know this, but clothes are an integral part of human DNA, okay?
So they're just clothes-producing machines at this point?
Yeah.
Cool, they should open their own business, man.
They should. They'll put the Gap out of business. Okay?
Oh, think of... In the books as well, they should open their own, like, sportswear. Because all the skin-tight clothing, they'd be freaking rich.
See, instead of
Animorph-produced clothing.
Had Rachel been alive, she would have produced something like Lululemon, okay? But it had been like morphing clothes, okay? She would have married the two.
You just had to rub the Rachel death thing in, didn't you?
True. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Spoilers for the book. Rachel dies.
So sad.
Has there been I feel like we missed a costume change.
I don't think we have. This is all taking place on the same day so far, and I'm pretty sure Marco was wearing that earlier, definitely. And Jake's...
I feel like hanging out with the old man tonight. There's a fight on the tube.
There's a fight on the tube.
Fight on the tube?
Fight.
Sports.
On the tube.
Yeah.
Answer correctly. Pass the butter.
Pass the butter.
Is that... No. It's so 90s.
What, passing butter is so 90s?
no, not the passing of the butter.
What's 90s?
Didn't you know that they only passed butter to each other in the 90s?
You know what's cringe, bro?
What's
passing
cringe,
90s.
bruh?
Go out and touch grass, okay? Pass the butter. Whoa. I got a TikTok to make.
That's the face I pull when somebody passes the butter these days.
That's right.
That's what I look like.
That's not base.
Passing the butter? Cringe.
Cringe. He asked for butter. Cringe.
I go for lard, thank you.
Give it to me in a bucket.
Do you like artichokes, Marco?
I've never had
Yes,
artichokes.
I like artichoke hearts.
I am allergic to artichokes.
You're allergic to them?
Leaves are the best part.
What actually are they? They look like pine cones.
They're a vegetable, technically.
Ugh, that's gross. That's icky. I'm a reverse vegetarian.
No.
Pamela thinks I'm lying. It's true. I'm lying. What's suspicious about eating them like that, then?
Everything's suspicious.
Is this... Surely all of this together has formed some
no
sort
matter
of
how
joke.
many times I see it, I'll never get used to the way you eat artichokes.
Uh-oh. It's like semi-Charlie Brown music.
It's not
And
exactly
then that's that.
gourmet, but...
Okay.
That barn doesn't look real.
Yeah.
That barn
Thank
did
you
not
for
look
my
real.
sippy cup.
Thanks, Cassie.
Everything's blue.
Day for night. Gotta shoot day for night.
Gotta get that blue tint in there to make it look all dramatic.
That's how the moon... Whoa.
What the
That's
fuck
how the
was
moon
that?
looks.
The Yerks! They're here! That was
just
a
moved to town.
digital ear
When that
scratch.
snake escaped in Mrs. Loach's class, everyone was running around screaming.
Mrs. Loach was standing on her desk.
And you caught it like it was nothing.
Memories, like the corners of my mind.
So he's wearing the same shirt that Axe is wearing, so he's obviously got
True.
two of those shirts, or he morphed that specific shirt.
He morphed the shirt. That's what I'm saying. They could put... So then if he takes off the shirt, can he not morph back?
You okay?
Yeah, it's just these ropes.
That's
are
a good
so
point.
tight. It's
Don't
okay, I
fall
know
for
what
it,
I'm
Cassie.
Well, I guess I can loosen them just a little bit.
No, don't do it!
This is a pretty well acted scene. I know that we've been talking over it for a little bit, but it's actually pretty well acted.
Well, we haven't
Man,
been
look
talking
at that
over it.
sinister glare.
I've just been making nonsense noises over it. Not so much talking.
Uh-oh.
That sounded like a stock noise.
Oh, man.
Cliche,
Oh,
cliche!
the spark!
That's the cliche.
Spark! He's here.
Such a cliche, man.
He's gonna do some evil bits. Okay.
Right, let's have a think of characters, shall we?
Draw.
Right, did we... Oh, yeah, so cliche. So,
Cliche.
the character I'm thinking of...
Mm-hmm.
He's a badass Inuit.
He's a badass Inuit. Oh, man. What is that guy's name? I don't remember that guy's name. I don't know.
Do you want a clue?
I don't know.
Starts with a D.
It starts with a D?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I don't know Inuit names. I don't know Inuit names well enough.
Okay, give up.
Yeah, I give up.
Derek.
Derek.
that Inuit
Paul. Yes, Paul. You know.
Mavis.
Mavis. Gerard.
Ashley.
Dwayne.
Oh, Dwayne.
Dwayne.
Oh, Craig.
It's me, Dwayne.
Right, let's listen to...
Cassie, no!
Oh, no.
No!
Let you do this.
Is this a new green screen? Uh-oh.
Well, Then again, would it be a new inner monologue? I don't think we can do the green screen twice, but I think we can do the inner monologue twice.
We did. I don't know if we did the inner monologue. I think we canned it for the inner. Did we do it for the inner monologue? I don't know if we did.
I think we did. But, well, whatever. Which character am I thinking of?
Okay, which character?
What's the name of the polar bear?
The name of the polar bear? Oh, man.
The greatest character in the whole series.
It's not Kodiak, is it?
No, it's Nanook.
Nanook. No, it's the stereotypical in you. It's the stereotypical name, is what it is.
Yeah. I'm feeling so
hairy. Is he gonna barf on her?
Yeah, what's he doing?
Jake's trying to get control of his body.
Cassie! Jake?
Yes.
Jake, you're in there, aren't you? Fight it, Jake! Fight it!
Blink once!
Let me put my arm down. Why?
I'm sorry, I just had a random tick.
Cassie, these ropes are still a little tight.
Oh man, not now, you jerk!
Don't you talk to me.
Yeah! Good job, Cassie.
Why is he so bad at acting?
You're a strong one,
Not Sean, but the Yerk.
You remind me of another difficult one. I'm sure you'll recognize him. It took us almost a week to break him. But he gave up in the end.
What is he wrapped in?
We break you.
I don't know. Why is he tied up?
Is Tom tied up in like web? Like what's?
That's a bad look. So when you're yerked, you end up in your own head, but you're always tied up in a different way. So there's somebody who's in their own head tied to a lamppost.
Right.
There's somebody tied to the underside of an elephant.
It's like someone's handcuffed to a drawer cabinet. That's the right.
Somebody's sellotaped to the ceiling in their own head.
This is what it's like to be captured. Ah. The name of the episode is The Capture, and I'm captured.
Somebody's stuck with blue tack to the floor.
Yeah, right. Someone just has like they're just like scotch tape, just like applied to their hands, right? The level of control is directly proportional to the inner mindscape tie up, right?
Yeah. But yeah, Tom was just sort of cowering on the floor, like.
But he's like covered in web. Like if you look at his legs, it looks like he's covered in like web or something.
Maybe that was a spider.
Right, a spider's ban.
Anyway, I think I need to move on from Jake with this face because it's not very.
Cringe.
That's a cringe face.
This is over, Yerk. You're gonna be staying at the bottom of my shoe.
Boom. Wow. Okay.
Excitable school children.
Ready? Costume change.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Like this is it. Here's the costume change.
You were ready for that one.
I was ready. Well, I heard the school bell ring. I'm like, all right, it's a new day. Time, an indiscriminate amount of time has passed.
Right. So which character am I thinking of?
Does Axe have to morph that shirt, or does he go get the shirt?
He probably went to get it because he would have had to go home.
Because he was at Jake's house.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he stayed in Jake's house overnight.
This is not a morph. This is not a DNA shirt. That's what we're establishing.
But the thing is, if he stayed at Jake's house overnight, he presumably would have to demorph a few times. He probably didn't sleep because he'd have been too paranoid about that.
True.
So he's probably just hanging out in Jake's bedroom as an Andalite.
Probably. With the door locked.
Yerk next door.
Door locked, right? Can't have the Yerk coming in, seeing you Andaliting about.
Andaliting.
Mm-hmm. It's a new word. Okay.
I wonder what that involves. Right.
It involves being arrogant and genociding people. That's kind of the
arrogant and genocide. Yes, that sums up the Andalites quite well. Right. Character. Right. This man got awfully wet on a log flume.
Oh man, that was that. There was that agent or whatever in the Helmicron book, right? I don't know that guy's name. I have no clue. Those are deep. These are deep lore cuts. I don't know.
Deep lore cuts or deep war cuts?
Deep lore cuts.
It was Captain Torelli, and it was book 14.
Oh, book 14.
It got very, very moist.
Damp. It's a bit of dampness.
Jake, you've always been a good student.
Oh, it's him.
Uh-oh.
But your work over the past 3 days, it's taken a quantum leap. I mean, your test result from yesterday...
He turns up later talking about bugs and shit.
I gotta tell you, I'm impressed. What did you do?
I calculated the value of pi.
To the 135th decimal.
Boom!
Sitting at his desk, didn't even have a calculator.
What can I say? Nothing. Nothing. Gotta go, Mr. Perkins. Bye.
Pass the butter.
Yeah, that's what he should have said.
He should have said pass the butter.
Oh, he's sweating.
Look at my eyes like I've been here for 3 days.
Is that green screen sweat?
Feel to be trapped in the body of a filthy scavenger.
I'm a predator.
True!
And I'm glad to see you're not pretending anymore. Just a few more hours to go.
You know, we Yerks can change our hosts. But you... must be awful to be trapped in flesh that's not your own.
It's what I am now. I can live with that.
I'm a bird, baby.
To be trapped inside the body of a hawk. Never to be yourself again. Never to be anything more to Rachel than a pet that sits on her arm.
Oh, shit.
How dare you talk in fuckery like that? Dirty, dirty person. Cutting to the core.
All you have to do is let me go.
How is he gonna let him go?
Yeah, that's a good point. If he's stuck in this Hawk body, how is he going to get you out of there, you idiot?
Well, and it's like you spend all of this time, like, degrading him, and then you're going to expect him to be like, I'm going to get you out, buddy.
You're a bugger and a tosser, and you've got a head like a turnip that's been stepped on. Now, please give me money.
I'm eating these potatoes. Don't smell like fish.
Very, very good point. That's a very good point.
See,
I like the callback. I like that.
It's callback. Timely, timely.
Oh, the smirk's back. That's all his acting is today. You know what? When people say that this is the best episode, and I said that as well, I think we overestimate it.
You know, it's pretty good. I don't know if it's the best episode, but it's definitely pretty good. There's some good acting. There's been some really good acting in this one.
It's not as good as I remember. I think the ending is where people just sort of forget what happened in the 20 minutes before and just say, that was the best episode. That's what I feel it is, because the end was good. And I think it just sort of clouds what happened all the time earlier.
And it's a good book, so people kind of like maybe... It actually kind of adapts the book pretty well.
Hey, it's in the semi-finals of the winners thing.
Oh, man. Are you good? I didn't see. Did the poll go up?
The video goes up in 40 minutes.
All right. Well, I'm excited to see.
I've got to do those. I've got to put those polls up as well.
We will.
Yeah, get the polls up. We gotta vote.
Because I've just found what I've been searching for.
It took him 3 days to find morphing.
He really is the most pathetic Yerk.
He's not good.
And now, that power belongs to me.
Me.
Yeah, that. How come it?
Do you know what? Do you know what we're missing? Do you know what we're missing in this episode?
What are we missing?
We're not so different, you and I.
Oh, that would be the ultimate cliche, wouldn't it?
I feel like that would have been the kicker.
Wait.
So wait a second. Wait a second. It's been a few more hours. Tobias said it's going to be a few hours and then he's going to be dead, and that was during the daytime.
Things change. The atmosphere changes quickly.
But it's nighttime now. How many hours have passed?
How do you know it's not just a big storm overhead? Because there's still quite a bit of light coming through that window. It's just really dark cloud.
You're shooting where it's really cloudy, okay? It's really cloudy.
It's really fucking cloudy out there today.
It's really cloudy, okay, guys? It's a foggy day in London town, governor. It's foggy outside, innit?
What the fuck was that? I'm just going to talk like this for the rest of the episode. We should do an episode where we're just talking really crap accents.
Bad accents. We just swap at you. Yeah, you just speak in
I'm
really
American,
bad
you're
American
British. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need sometimes.
Right.
Oi!
Oi!
Hello, what's all this then?
Later, Gator.
They'll be over
That's
soon enough.
Australian, isn't it? Good eye, Bruce.
Later, Gator.
We don't say that in Britland.
No.
No.
You don't have weird. Okay, well then
We
obviously.
say ta-ra.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra. Uh-oh.
Did he just do the yawn? Oh, see, that's so he did the yawn trick.
It works.
Oh my god! Humans are so gay.
Hey, it works.
Yeah, that's.
Look how zoned out she is.
Yeah, she's like. Suddenly develops narcolepsy. Just like,
uh-oh, the opportunity to strike.
Strike. Waiting, hiding for my opportunity.
Oh, the smirk again.
My half smirk.
Yeah.
See, is she doing it? Is she doing it like the book where she's fake sleeping?
And the ropes just disappear.
Wild.
And uh-oh. Speed morph.
Speed morph.
Oh, he's still got the rope on him. He had to take the rope off.
Oh, see, and he has the same shirt.
What the fuck?
He has the same shirt from when he was. Where was it? It's DNA shirt.
DNA shirt. Why are these yurks just zombie? See, you can tell it's not nighttime. It's just very cloudy because you still get sun rays coming through.
Really?
Yeah, look, can you not see that? Those are sun rays coming through.
It's just very bad. I'm not saying I can't.
They filmed it during the day and just put a really blue
day for night.
tone
It's
on
very.
it. You can see. Look in the puddle. Look in the puddle. That's blue sky and a sun.
They're shooting day for night. I thought I said that.
Oh, did you? Oh, well,
yeah, they're
that
clear. They're
shuts
very
my
clearly
mouth.
shooting. They're very clearly shooting day for night.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought
Day
you were
and
disagreeing with me.
No,
I was getting all
totally
confrontational.
agree. No, I totally agree with you. They've been shooting day for night this whole time.
Raptor, you're wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
I agree with you, but you're wrong.
Wrong. Okay, we're going to agree to disagree on
We're
this.
going to agree to. We're going to agree to disagree to agree.
That's right.
Okay, so let's the zombie walking yurks.
Uh-oh.
There's a line. And he doesn't run towards the yurks that he just saw.
There's nothing more intimidating than a horse. The horse is in my way. Well, there you go. Okay, so Marco.
There's Aaron.
Oh.
Did you really think he'd let you go?
Yeah, you can tell it's not Sean. He looks a little bit different.
When he's grimacing. He's like arching his eyebrows in a really intense way.
He almost looks like a bad CGI man.
He looks like, you know who he looks like? He looks like Robert Patrick.
Who's Robert Patrick?
He's the guy, did you ever watch Terminator 2?
No.
Wow. Your nerd card is showing if you've not watched Terminator 2.
My nerd card wouldn't it not exist?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that you gotta show me
You
your
said
nerd
it's
card.
showing. If my nerd card is showing, then I've got it. It's here.
It's a fake. See? The nerd card is fake.
You cannot say that my yurk card is a
Shit!
No! Oh, sorry, I can't help but scratch my ear right now.
I'm so glad to see that you're not pretending anymore.
I'm going to smirk at you. I'm not a yerk. Smirking, yerking.
That's exactly what a yerk would say, by the way. I'm not a yerk. Uh-huh. Nailed it.
Well, do you know what else a yerk would say? They'd say, You just did that!
True. They would
and
say
they'd
that.
also say true.
True.
Did you really think we'd let you go?
Yeah, that's Aaron. He's got a slightly higher pitched voice as well.
Boom. So is that green screen? Him
Yeah, that's green
morphing to
screen.
and from?
Yeah, it looks like green screen. You can see from the friggin' edge of his clothing. Okay, so... Oh, let's think of a character. That's an unfortunate moment to pause. The character I'm thinking of is very naughty and
narrows it down.
and he ate Elfangor.
It's Visser 3. Esplin. How
correct? Well done.
How deep do we go?
Well done.
Esplin 9466.
I don't require any more. Right, what am I shaving? Pebble says armpit.
I was gonna say you did the forearm, you did the leg, you gotta do the pit.
Oh, okay. Right, just give me a sec to take my clothes off.
Not on camera, please. Just family stream, okay? Family video.
Right. Oh, difficult because my microphone is not attached to my clothing.
Sure.
Right, so got my body
1845. Oh man.
Right.
Here we go. Drum roll.
I'm gonna have to move the microphone bit, so you might not be able to hear me that clearly.
All right. No worries.
Let the people watching. Right. Right. That's that. Right. Let's freaking do this. That way. Like that.
Other way.
Up like that. And up.
I'll do the same for that way.
Oh, got stuck.
Squeals. The squeals.
Oh, shit.
How long do you have to do it for?
Ow. Enough for it to be entertaining. That's how long I have to do it for.
Doing it for the likes.
The things I do for love.
It's for your channel. Don't think it's for me.
Ow. Well, that was painful. Let's carry on.
The verdict is in. It's painful. Okay. Established. Pain.
Pain is pain.
Man.
Indeed established.
How?
All the speed morphing going on is
Wait a second.
I only pretended to sleep.
Oh, shit. She only pretended to sleep.
What? We've always been... We've always been here for the last 5 minutes.
Not even that. Like, last 10 seconds, we've
They were at school. They were doing other things.
So, yeah, everything's so confusing about this. So they were just hanging out there expecting him, because that's where the Yerk zombies go.
But it took him 3 days. It took him 3 days to figure out. Supposedly, he's in the last minutes of being
because
a controller.
They knew that he'd wait for Rachel to fall for the old yawning trick.
Oh my
and they knew it would happen this day, so they were waiting here for just this night, and they thought, right, he's going to go to the place where all the Yerk zombies walk into that squat little building over there, so we'll just wait outside that and hope that he does, and hope that he just stops there rather than just continue walking towards it. He's just going to stop there and think, look, safety right in front of me. Let me stop and observe it. That's what they were hoping for.
It's wild. This episode has, like, it's way more effective in the book because of the pacing and the way that, like, because he does it, like, within the first, like, 5 minutes, or he does it, like, really quickly after they do that.
Yeah.
After they capture him the first time. So, I mean, whatever, dude. This is very...
Oh, that's a great
This episode has not earned that level of, like, oh, man, look how tricky and smart the Animorphs were.
Yeah, it's not, though. It's really not. That's green screen. Just look at that. You can tell by the edges.
The hawk, here, play it.
The Yerk fleet is here.
Yeah, the hawk is not there.
Yeah, right. So that's green screen.
You need to get closer to the microphone. You're pretty. Or you need to adjust it because I can barely hear you.
There it is.
There you go.
Move this one a bit further as well. Right. So let's think of a character. Oh, the worst villain of the series.
Taylor. That's your opinion. That's your opinion, but it's Taylor.
But you got the answer right. Right. So what am I shaving off now?
Because I know you. Okay, I know you.
What am I shaving off now?
Do the other pit.
The other? No, you can't do that.
I can't. I got the question.
You sure you don't want my foot or my thigh or?
Definitely don't want your thigh. Okay. Definitely don't want your thigh. How hairy are your feet? You said you weren't very hairy.
My feet are quite hairy.
How how hobbit? Okay, so like between.
I mean, it's not like freaking. I'm not freaking ape man on my feet, but there's hair.
Okay, then do your foot.
Okay, I still want to take all my clothes off again.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like that. Like that.
I can't see, so I'm gonna have to trust that you're actually doing it on your foot.
You'll see in the video.
Yeah.
I hope you like my socks, by the way. It's got pizza and beer on it. Right. So
nice. I have Tacosaurus socks. That one sounds painful.
Owie.
You're right, my dear.
Yes, I'm.
Which one was the worst?
I'm fine. The armpit's the worst. Yep. Right, if we can find another forfeit and you get it right, I'll let you choose my other armpit next time.
Okay, all right, good to know. Well,
it's just with microphones everywhere. It's a nightmare to take the top off.
Sure, no problem. Just stick it under your shirt. Can you not do that? Is it too big for you to just like slip it?
It's because I want people to know that know that I'm not just faking it. So I put it up to the camera.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, does belly hair hurt?
You can.
Oh yeah, you don't have any.
Yeah, but it's like it's above your belly button.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Or chest. How about chest hair? You have chest hair?
Yeah, I've got chest hair.
Okay. I've got like 12, so.
Do you have names for them?
No. But I should.
Yeah, name them.
One of them will be Hork-Bajir, who starts with F.
It's almost over. Fight it.
Hork-Bajir starts with F.
The name starts with F, okay?
Joel from his Celtic.
True.
Fight it, Jake. Fight it, Jake. Jake, fight it. We're helping. We're helping. Jake, fight it.
Yo. Oh, boom.
That's green screen. That was green screen.
Is it new green screen because we already called it out for Tobias? I mean, we knew that Tobias was already on the green screen.
Yeah, but it's not. It's a slog. So yeah, that counts as a new green screen.
All right.
Okay. What character's next? I've got my collection over there, so I'm just looking at it. Okay. Visser-One's child who was threatened with a gun.
Is that Darwin?
Yes, it is. Well done. What am I shaving now?
Yeah. Do your hand.
My hand?
Do your hand. Do your chest. Do chest.
So do
hand. Do hand.
There's not much hair on it, so...
Oh, there isn't? Oh, okay. I figured that if your feet had hair on it, then your hand would probably have as much hair as your feet.
Well, that's not how life works, Raptor, unfortunately.
Well, it's not how your life works, apparently.
Well, your life will end.
Do another calf. Do another calf. Just do another calf.
Do another calf. I'll do the other calf.
Do the other calf.
I don't think I actually showed it.
For the sake of everybody, we'll do the calf.
Right.
Think of the fans.
Fucker.
I love this so much.
Oh fuck! It hurts. Right, that's that done.
Good job. What a trooper.
Oh, mate. You don't know the pain I've been through. I might actually like raise money for myself based on this.
You don't know how
it's going to be a charity drive. I'm going to put like advertisements on Twitter and say,
GoFundMe.
I've been through so much pain. You owe me money.
Set up a GoFundMe so that you can have you can take that hair growth or whatever that they advertise on YouTube videos these days.
Yeah, yeah, all of that stuff, mate. All of it.
Dun dun dun.
Oh, he stepped on it.
They didn't show it though, because that would be the.
That would be too gory for kids.
Animal cruelty.
Yeah, that.
Meanwhile, back at Siberia. Wait, isn't Siberia closed? Because it's the middle of the night.
No, it's the next day. But
he's wearing the same shirt.
He's wearing the same. Oh, Jake,
he's wearing
you dirty fucker.
Shirt.
He's wearing the same goddamn shirt he's worn for the last 3 days.
He's wearing it 3 days. Why the Siberia staff is not like, dude, you smell, bro.
If that shirt has seen so much action because it multiplied as well for Axe to wear it.
Right? And all of his like sweating, like you're forgetting like all of his yerk sweats.
That shirt is mank, mate. Unless he's just got like, it's like Homer Simpson when he opens his drawer and he's just got all the same shirt.
Right? Yeah, it's true.
That doesn't explain all the other clothes changes though.
Alone with no hope.
This is where the episode gets good, and this is what clouds everyone's judgment. This part onwards, it's like, oh, this is really good. You just forget what happened in the 20 minutes before.
Never imagine. But you were all there for me. And you gave me hope.
Oh, piano!
We also tied you to a chair. Must be pretty sore.
You can tell he's not a yerk anymore because he's not smirking.
Yeah, right. And he's not being ultra creepy. Look at me, Cassie.
That's stuff that I said at the bar.
You didn't say anything.
Well, he did, technically.
It was the yerk talking.
This music in the background.
They are working really hard.
Yeah.
They're both good actors, and they have good chemistry.
Jake.
It's just a shame about the script.
Are they gonna take a picture?
No, it's the phone.
That's modulation activated.
The program is set.
Outdated tech? Is this outdated tech
Yeah,
because of the phone?
This is we haven't had one of those for a while. This is outdated tech.
Is that sweet cell phone?
Look at all those cables sticking out. Just get a VPN, mate. Christ.
Yeah, by the way, go get NordVPN. Here's a NordVPN thing.
Surfshark, I don't freaking know. This character was destroyed by the Andalite Chronicles, and I'll never forgive it for that.
You Chapman.
Chapman, yes. So what am I shaving now?
Well, do your arm. Since you did it, we'll go easy on you since you had a couple. Do your other arm. Since you had
other arm, okay.
Yeah, do your other arm.
That way? Like that?
Yeah, sure. Again, I can't see, so absolutely.
Oh, I'm asking Pebble, sorry.
Oh, okay.
It's not so bad on the arm. It still hurts, but it's not like... I'm not crying.
Right. Same.
Does this work on your nose?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Raptor?
Oh, I don't know. I was joking around. Being a jokester.
Oh, well, enough of that, because Animorphs is not for joking.
That's right. Serious business.
There's never a joke in Animorphs.
You can tell me.
It's a totally serious thing.
If God has his way.
Oh, is that what the... Yeah.
Hello?
Tom.
Yeah? Don't give up, Tom.
No matter what it tells you, no matter what it makes you do.
Don't give up. You're not alone.
And a friend's forever.
We'll be fighting with you.
This would be so much better if it didn't have the music in the background. Oh, he's gonna start shaking now.
I was gonna say, yeah. Does he do the little shake?
See, this scene is good.
Yeah.
It's probably the best scene in the whole of the series, which is what
it's subtle.
Makes
It's subtle. There's a lot of like good acting, and then like.
It's just a shame about the bloody music in the background.
I understand now why my
in a
brother
monologue.
Alfredo chose this world to make a stand.
Let's just
against
look at that superimposed screen at the bottom
For
right.
in the heart
So
of a human,
yeah, right.
no causes are ever lost, and nothing is beyond hope.
Aww.
In the end, it may be this world that turns the war in our favor. Because what I saw so briefly through Jake's eyes was not a world enslaved, but a world with a keen taste.
Oh, jump cut. Jump cut!
Did you say a world... Oh, what the hell? Why? Why do you have to ruin it with that? What the hell does that even...
Did it suddenly become transparent? And we're seeing through it? Or is the implication that we're supposed to be, look at the friendship. The world is filled with friendship. I think it's supposed to be the latter.
Right.
Wow.
So that's the final forfeit. So if you get this right, then the thing. So which character am I thinking of right now? The first character to narrate a book.
Jake.
Chronologically.
Oh, chronologically would be what? Would be Tumen, right? Because everything that happens in the Ilmist Chronicles starts like hundreds of thousands, millions of years before anything else. So Tumen would be the first character to narrate a book chronologically.
Right. Okay. What am I shaving? This is the last one now.
Do you have any hair in your ears?
On my ear? It's not going to work on my ears.
It's not going to work on your ears. Okay. I think for the final one, you need to tweeze some nose hairs.
Tweeze some nose hairs?
Tweeze some nose hairs here.
Right. Okay.
This is the only thing that we didn't do was tweezing.
Oh, that one wasn't too bad.
Well, you know, this world just might change the shape of the war, okay? I think that's why Elfangor chose it, not that because the Yeerks came here knowing that they were a class 5 species and then he got blown up in the atmosphere. No, it was 100% Elfangor came here on purpose specifically for this, okay?
This isn't hurting at all. Sorry to distract... yeah, that's not hurting at all, which is unusual, because usually when I pull my nose hair out, it's searing agony, but today it's just not. I'll give you a free hit, so we need me to be in pain.
Do we? I think that the episode ending clearly states that you are okay to not be in pain. You're not alone.
Okay. Fair enough. You're not I
alone.
will be in no more pain. Cool. Right, how do we rate this episode? Because this is supposedly the best one. And I've said that. I've said that this is the best episode. But watching it again, it's really only the last 2 minutes that makes it seem that good. Apart from that, it's pretty bang average. I'll give it an 8 because of the ending.
I would agree. It's definitely an 8. It's better than a lot of other Animorphs episodes, but it's definitely not like 100% amazing. And I know that a lot of people, like, that moment is a very iconic moment from the book, too. And it was a very good like, overall, this was probably the most solid adaptation of a book story in this 2-part episode.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd probably agree with that. It had its flaws, like the torso rubbing and the...
Yes. But, like, comparing it to, like, I would say if you're comparing it to either The Message, right, or The Escape, which is the underground, right? Like, all 3 of those... Because The Invasion really didn't follow book 1 very much. It followed, like, some of the rough outline, like a very, very rough outline. But, like, thematically, I feel like The Invasion, like, the first 3 episodes would kind of be like The Invasion and The Visitor mixed together. But they do so much, like, weird, like, adaptation that they're not very faithful adaptations, even though they're, like... Because I gave those, like, 7s and 6s and stuff. And I think I gave one of them an 8. But, like, they're fine. They're fine for television.
Yeah.
But this one was... the best adaptation. This is the most accurate adaptation in terms of capturing like the thematic essence.
Yeah, I think this
of the book.
Is this the last actual adaptation? Because I know at some point they'd move into just TV exclusive plot lines.
It's possible.
No, I suppose near the end there's the whole Tobias finds out Elfangor's, but then again that's.
The reaction,
only like vague little plot points dotted through from now on from the books.
The reaction is an adaptation, right?
Oh, we've not seen that one yet, have we?
No, like the difference. That's the one with they do Cassie instead of Rachel, where she's allergic to the crocodile. But I don't remember how like faithful of an adaptation was. So I guess it's all subjective, right? Because like when you're talking about like what makes the episode the best, I would say what would make it the best episode would be that the TV show does a good enough job as a television show of making me care about what's happening.
Which doesn't happen often. Right.
And I think that out of all of them, I think that the Alien... Between Friends. Between Friends was the one... That was the one with... Was that the one with Melissa?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That's the one. Okay, so not that one. On the Run was the one in the mall, right?
Was there The Secret?
Split Up and Gather. Cassie finds out about the
Alien.
sharing. That one was terrible. I did not like that one.
Which one
There's
was
the
that?
one...
The Escape, The Message.
I thought it was Between Friends.
It might be, yeah.
There was one where Jake and Marco were like, maybe it was My Name is Jake Part 2? No, it was Underground. I think Underground was the best episode. So far, out of all the ones that we've watched, I think Underground is the best episode because it had the most. I know that he's gone. I think that the Underground is the best because it did the best job of like establishing these characters and like having it feel like there was like interaction. Like I actually cared about what was happening in that episode. Like it had a good enough like sense of pacing and story structure that it felt like a good episode of television.
Yeah.
So
that doesn't happen. We're at that stage now where that really does decline. We don't really get that feeling anymore.
Yeah, and I think that's a bummer because like I was saying, I think that Shawn Ashmore and Nadia, right? Isn't that the name of the actor who plays
Nadia Nascimento.
Cassie? They have really good in the two scenes that they had in this episode. The one with them at the Siberia counter, and then the one with them in the barn when there was just the two of them talking. Both of those scenes were really well acted and really well shot, and they had really good chemistry, and they had really they delivered the dialogue really well. Like even though like Jake was a controller at that point, like he did a good job doing in that scene. He was good at showing that he was bad, but not like creepy and weird.
Except for all the smirking. If only they'd stopped smirking so much.
Yeah.
That was
the smirking. It's like, how do you know you're a yerk? You touch your ear and you smirk a lot. That's the
basically
telltale signs of yerkdom. But like the handshaking moment when he like grabs her, right? There's a lot of good reaction shot. Like there's a lot of good reacting to those situations. Yeah. Like there was good. There were good moments in the show.
They are good actors. It's just that most of the time the script doesn't allow them to do that.
Yeah.
It lets them down. But
yeah, the script, and I think that, like hand in hand with that, I really think is the pacing, and I think that that's always kind of like whenever the conversation comes up of, you know, should Animorphs be a TV show or should Animorphs be a movie, right? The age-old fandom argument. It's why I kind of tend to lean into the TV camp a little bit more, or at least like the limited series camp.
Because you can.
If you're not going to do like a full season of television, like a limited series.
Yeah.
Because like it would be so nice. Like if you had good enough actors and you had the ability to slow down a little bit and kind of like explore some of the more meaty like consequences of like what they're doing and how it makes them feel. I feel like that would be a much stronger overall showing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, one can dream that we'd get a TV series. If we're going to get anything, we're probably going to get a movie. It's probably going to be produced by Hollywood, and it's probably going to make me want to throw up into my own breakfast and then eat it and die.
Yeah, the age-old discussion.
It's always a good discussion to have.
It is true.
Yeah.
True.
But
and then there's always that's always followed up by the animation, right? Where it's like
there's
the group of people who want it to be animated, and then there's the group of people who want it to be live action. So it's like
I think, give it a year or two, we should actually just decide. Let's make it ourselves. Because there are a lot of Animorphs fans out there. Just say, right, this one's good at doing CGI. You do that sort of stuff. I'm not sure if it's like you do CGI. I mean, you do for games, don't you?
Yeah, but I mean, games. I mean, at this point, like technologically, like people use game engines for making TV shows and movies. Like that's how they make the new Star Wars TV shows and stuff, like The Mandalorian.
Yep.
All of their set extensions are done with Unreal Engine, which is a game engine.
So in the future, we're just going to decide. Oh fuck, counting on these freaking TV executives to do it. Let's freaking do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And you'll be there doing the alien designs.
One can dream. That would be cool. I don't know if my art style is congruent enough for the Animorphs fandom, but
well, stuff them.
No.
No, seriously though, there are people who want us to do a video talking about your designs, so I think we'll do that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But anyway,
if people want to talk about it, I'll talk about it. I always love talking about it.
I want to talk about it, so we'll do that soon. But
and you know what I need to do now that we had talked about it before we started recording, but now that I got a 3D printer, I got to try and get 3D prints of some of my stuff.
Yes, that would be tippity freaking top.
That'd be cool. And then if somebody would paint, like I have like zero experience painting miniatures and physical sculptures. I've obviously done a lot digitally, but man, 3D print them, and if somebody wanted to paint them, that'd be pretty cool.
And then you could sell them on Etsy, and it'll be like a part-time job. Yeah, that'd be cool. Anyway, regarding the TV series, it's all downhill from here. So,
it's all downhill from here.
But it's been lovely again, and I'm feeling a little cold now. Feeling very cold since I've removed some insulation.
You're very quiet again, just so you know.
Am I? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Okay. Right. Well, that was good fun.
Very fun.
Next time it'll be, it's going to get worse from now, so we'll have to be prepared, and we'll have to think up some more forfeits. And I'll probably bring alcohol back for the next one, so I can actually get through these episodes without ending up in a puddle of my own tears.
There you go, right?
Anyway, Raptor, it's been wonderful yet again.
Always is.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.